Yellow. Hello, yellow. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everybody doing? We're back with more Phoenix Wright. Hold on, let's see the game. Let's get some visuals. Yes, last time we left off, we finished the day 2 of investigation. And then we, now we're going to do, it's trial time, so we're going to continue with that. Or sorry, no, wrong. No, we're in the middle of a trial. Never mind. Oh, no, never mind. No. It's just former. That means there's a latter part. I'm also eating a free because it's hot. Well, it's a little hot. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is confused as we are. He died in 2 places. But apparently, it seems, after all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Well, ultimately, she knows what's going on. She has to know what's happening, but she's not gonna tell us. That's a good thing to remember. That she does know what's happening. She's just choosing not to tell us. Sorry, I gotta lower it. It was kind of loud in my ears. Lana. Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So how'd it go? Well, this is unfortunately something you can't really afford to miss. Hold on. So how'd it go? Yeah. As Mr. Wright suspect, the police are clueless. Clueless? Figured as much for our sucker plea bargain. Plea bargain, basically she's gonna plead guilty to get lesser time. We agreed on I told them the truth behind the simultaneous murder. They wouldn't take capital punishment. They basically want to take the death penalty. But Lana, don't tell me you, much to my regret, as I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Really? You don't know? I find that hard to believe. They found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace? Am I crazy? Why does it sound... It sounds really loud to me for some reason. Oh, well, I gotta lower it even more on my end, not for you guys. Wait, is it? Yeah, okay, yeah, it's the same. For me, I can barely hear it, but it's muted, but you guys can still hear it. It's lovely. Bloodstained fingerprints to be exact. That's the trump card I have on my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? Yeah. We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. As you stated the first day, she's not really expecting anything from us. Even though she's saying she's confessing to doing it, we're still like, being able to defend her, which it strikes me as odd. Court confession. I'm ready. The prosecution is I'm afraid you'll have to be clarified. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's obviously not. It's not possible. But some more, I hear the victim from the evidence just disappeared. Wow. This was one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. That's what sets him apart. He sounds on top of things, even though he doesn't know what he's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait. Stop glazing, Emma. I almost said Maya. I miss her. Sag. Yep, let's continue. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness to the stand. For the first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect, you mean the so-called murderer? Meekins. Hey, I'm Mr. Meekins! Officer Meekins, look at me! Things are getting wild from the get-go. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir, I'm Officer Mike Meekins. Look at me! My occupation is, that would be murderer. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? It was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again. You gotta believe me. Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is... Hold on, first right with cookie. I'm what you will call a part of the younger generation, sure. How old is he? Hold on. You can check. Oh, okay, he is young. He is younger. A person whose actions adults can't properly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me. Please help me. Hey, Officer Meekins. Yes? Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. Easy with a boot-licking dog. You can't fault him for lack of enthusiasm. Enthusiasm? That's not even a word. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security scene rushing into the room. I was only doing what I was trying to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I forgot for my life, and then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. Odd. How odd. Because the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's what the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. And you fainted and your colleague helped you regain consciousness, yeah, by slapping the hell out of him. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the... Yo, whoa, why are you speaking in drive for, homie? Don't do that. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head. Well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info that we're... we don't really suspect him of doing it. We just need him to tell us what he knows. This is... Those are my normal duty thing. I'm trying to guard duty. Well, hold on. Why were you assigned to guard duty? I was the officer marshal. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes. Now there's a scary thought. Evident transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which means that many officers are giving special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Oh, that little freaking mascot. That DIY project by Gumshoe. Yes, sir. The lovely police masker created by the chief of detectives, sir. Oh, that's his idea, Lamo. I was to ensure that it wasn't broken during the transferal process. Wait, hold on one sec. I'm gonna open something I don't want to play on the stream. So 1 sec. You'll still be able to hear me, but 1 sec. Okay, we're good. Sorry. See, it sounds like a very important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around. I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went into the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? That's right, the suspicious man on the security screen rushed into the room. Yeah, I just press everything. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, if your ID number should be listed on here, right? It should be the 498959. There it is. I found it. Oh, no. No, the one under Bruce actually should be him. Never mind. What am I talking about? Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir. It's 4989. Oh, never mind. I was right. Never mind. I was right. Huh? Wait. Wait. Hold on. That doesn't. Wait. No, I'm right and wrong. For different reasons. I'm right. That is his number. But no, he should be. Wait. Why did he come in the room twice? Oh yeah, he entered the. He was in the room before, for 15 minutes before, or I guess almost 24 minutes before Bruce Goodman in air quotes went in. What? Huh? Is there twice? It's shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mysteries. It's no. The first time was when I relocated the blue badger. Oh, okay. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. Okay, that makes sense. Never mind. So it was during that second time when, yes, sir, that was when I spotted the man on the security screen. Honestly, I was just thinking about it. This kind of port security that any officer can go in there because it's only for detectives. So shouldn't only the detectives be able to go in? Suddenly attacked. Why did he attack you? So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife. Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked like as surprised as I was. Can't read. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arm like an octopus struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. If you just kept her cool, where your hand wouldn't be. When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. Oh yeah, the video. We never ended up seeing it, did we? Then I did it. What did you do? What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just a minute, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. I see. Yeah, I have a feeling that's not exactly what happened. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew, yes? He punched me right in my face, sir. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. According to your report from... Well, they usually tell you, hey, you were out for like 15 minutes. Or what? According to a report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30, so 15 minutes, yeah. Also, I right-clicked again. Hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying, tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came to... Oh, maybe that's why. I don't have my fan on, so maybe I can hear the game clearer than before. I made sure to finish my mission. Your mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned into the entrance where things got out of hand. We can all rest easy knowing that. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man of this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. How did his car end up in the parking garage? Our parking lot. Yes, Officer Beacons? With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning. Why would he not give it to Edgeworth? The chief delivered it. What is that? Videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage of the security camera in the evidence room. What the? What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and I was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. The only thing I'm really good at. It's the only thing I'm really good at, sir. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us a video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word, murder, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting into? What are we getting ourselves into? Guys, you're gonna want to see this. Oh well, you can't see his face. Right, Meekins goes in, fully rendered area. Oh yeah, see? Oh, it looked like Meekins was about to get stabbed. How did he effectively disappear from the camera? So yeah, no, it doesn't look like he's not he didn't murder anybody. He didn't die. But why did it take someone died? This video is super bad. Also, by the way. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. What an awful video. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? I'm sure we're all thinking the same thing, but how can we deal with all these unsettled feelings stirred within us? Crash out. What the hell was that wriggling piece of? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sorry, that's Blue Badger. That annoying piece of crap was saying the Blue Badger blocking everything basically. Not that the camera constantly oscillating didn't help. It's a Blue Badger, sir. What's that? It was imbroglio. What an imbroglio. The murder at the police station. The police station imbroglio. Dude, I'm gonna need the people. Hold on. I'll see if I. Let me type that out. Police. Let me. Sorry, I can't spell. I'm off. Imbroglio. Or imbroglio. There we go. Thank you, Nikkei, for expanding my vocabulary. Okay, the useless video. Yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room, and some sort of activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. His face can't be clearly. Yeah, no. As we saw, there's no question that. That's good. That's a good point. It's ID print, so unless you find what's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint activated lock. These locks ensure that each lock can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have had to be Detective Goodman. Very well. How about these lockers? Is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. The only response to register fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If the man opened the locker with only response to register fingerprints, that he must have been the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir, and this too. Is, okay, that's the thing. Was that Think's locker? How do you know that? How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, for people in the know, sir. People in the know. The workers in the department cafeteria, sir, they keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. So it must be him. Let me say, because I don't want to accidentally press. Back to SL911. This is, you know, I never did care for the word tag. It's confusing. Huh? What's so confusing about it? Do you know how many other words sound like it? Bag, gag, nag, lag, zag. Yeah, that's not a word. Zag? Is that a word? You challenge me? What are we playing a word game now? Word or true? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me check the thing. Let's check the video. Was it? Is there a chance that it was open? Oh! Okay, you see, yes. Yeah, okay, there you go. It was open. So did we present the video? Did they know there's something wrong with the video? No. How do I? Hold on. How do I show it? Maybe I do the tape. Maybe I do the tape instead. The video. There's something wrong. The video. Regarding the video contained on this tape. Yeah, there's one thing in particular that seems rather strange. This contradiction leads to the possibility that the locker was open already. The man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. You would want me to point it out, obviously, because it's like 2 minutes of footage. Very well. Proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of. I have to point it. This is the first time I ever had to do that. I set it up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. I don't think. No, okay, no, it probably was. I was gonna say I don't think you could fast forward in the DS version. I believe, but I might be wrong. I don't think that's right. To take a look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become up? Yeah, cop. Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where's the contradiction that? Okay. Well, we don't have to do it too fast. Right here. That. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If this is matched, the light turns on and the locker is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Or video, he means. Look, yeah, like I said, look, the light's on. So that means it's open, even though it doesn't look like it. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. I don't know why we didn't need to watch him go to open the locker. Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit. It's already lit. Let's get the Liddy in here. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah! Which means it wasn't Goodman. Order. What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the lockers are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have been broken. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, this goes for so many novices to keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Yes, we do. Me, Your Honor? Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Mr. Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor? Something jam the sensor? Say, there's something else that seems... Also, yeah, there's gotta be... Very well, let's inspect the video once more. Yeah, get ready, we're gonna go through this video a lot, so... Right. Look at that. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Thank God they don't play the music when we're watching it for this. Yeah, when he opens the locker, something falls out. The glove falls out. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall when the doors are open. I have to fall out and roll great distances when I open my car doors. Nope. We can't be sure that the item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Yeah. I told you my monitor, my second monitor is dying. It's getting lines at the bottom, like actual lines, not like the rendering lines that where the color is just there's no color. It's annoying, but I bought because it's my newer monitor too, which is even extra annoying. Okay, but whatever. I digress. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. Just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle. Instead of the door closing. Yeah, who cares? Whatever it begins, but the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Which, not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. Like, say, a rubber glove. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Yeah, that one piece of evidence was just random. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was the insulator that was stuck in the locker door? Why? You saw it. It was a glove. Rubber. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that it was in the victim's locker. Yes, we can. Look at the tag. SL9. It's related. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. Ugh. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamps attest to this. Now, the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear so. Oh, is her thing? Right, her thing's dying. Order. So are we to believe then that the victim, so the witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Don't be misled, Your Honor. Because yeah, even if he wasn't able to open the locker, there's still something else that says it was him, the card. Oh, but wait, when did he write this? Yeah, well, he wrote it that day, so it just depends when he lost it. The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Oh, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Oh, you mean that? Oh, of course. Is this a joke? If it is, I ain't laughing. Because I'm not laughing. Very well. Begin your testimony. Mystery Man 2. Sorry, I was thinking about whether I'm gonna say that. I was just thinking about, and you know how the like white guy words of power, like, you're man, who let this guy in here? You in what army? I wonder what are the black guy words of power? Like, okay, I don't know. I don't even know. Cause I like general, maybe calling people general. That's yeah. I would say that, like, calling some people, you know, general, boss man, big dog, general. Whatever. Anyways, there's one other thing at end of the room. One must use their ID card. When the ID card is used, there's a record of it. It's not the kind of detective who used this card. So the only thing you can contest is like what time he lost it. ID card record. I see. I have the ID card record here, right here, your sir. Right here, your sir. The ID used as 514 is that of the victim. Number for the crime, hmm? Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? That is a good point, actually. Huh. He's right. That is a good point. This particular evidence room was only used for storing certain special... okay. That's why. Special cases. Extremely violent cases involving police. Oh, which makes sense why the metal detector was in there, because that was a prosecutor. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transfer there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let's move on to the cross-examination. I'm gonna try and just present the thing that he lost it. Hey, he lost it, actually. There you go, yeah. Don't even need to press it. Wait, one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. No, Your Honor, not the second one, the first one. No. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's... Yeah, okay, it is an underground parking lot, okay. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's card. Lost item report. It's only half complete, but it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. And that wasn't the man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room. Was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Yeah, that's easy to understand. Or simple logic. Does the prosecution have a response? Nope. Nope. I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's arguments. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Yeah? Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yeah, what's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in the video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess that is right. But the main question is, that's not... Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in the video was a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could take place, yeah, the prosecutor's office. That murder being Miss Lana Sky, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the weapon, the murder weapon. Ah! I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. It was all a trap. The activity evidence room still remains many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. But the only question is, how was that locker opened in the first place? Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana. What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Obviously object. Objection! One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. No. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. But it does show something else. But remember, the knife did end up on the knife did end up in the muffler of his car. So how did it get there? However, it cannot be said that it's unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Redgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean? Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would like have testify. What is his or her name? Well, why is this person? Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room, and I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works at the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Yeah, that should be pretty normal for the call to the witness stand as a cop. Very well. The court will take the 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in session. Or now in recess. Recess. Hello, Miss Sky. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You call for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. Yeah, like I said at the start of the stream. She knows what's going on. She's lying. She's thinking I don't know what's happening. She does know what's happening. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything, but you're not telling us anything. You're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Oh, I hope I'm not oh God, thank you, Gumshoe. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, I guess I am. Guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You've got a lot of nerve. You got a lot of nerve, pal, making detective run around while on duty. And to top it off, you called me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey. I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh ho. You mean this, right? My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? And also, you can just do that? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident. But Lana, thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you. The chief prosecutor were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Take it from me. You know, I didn't anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that about your stuff, you're gonna ignore me? Emma? But why? Why is your name in here? What? My name is in there? I don't know. Unless. No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident. Is that? Yes. That's the classification number the police filed it under 2 years ago. The rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. Joe Dark? No, Lana. That's over with. No. Whoa. Wait. She ran away. You know what? I just remembered I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Star, Damon Gang, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I better take a good look at this file. Floor. Closed. Joe Dark, Theo, the death victims. Oh, Jeb Bush? I'm the Jeb Bates. Neil Marshall. Head prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth. Witness, Lana Sky, Emma Sky. Exec investigator, Damon Gant, Lana Sky. Head investigator, Bruce Goodman, Jake Marshall, Angel Star. The conspiracy just goes deeper and deeper every day, for every new information. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness. Nah, we're alone. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Mr. Marshall. Who is Neil Marshall? Witness, please state your name and occupation. Also, I'm pretty sure you can't drink in a courthouse. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a wandering man. Just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. Yes, sirree. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind. Never heard Edward described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sand. No paper can sum it up. Desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with it. Get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime in plain old English. In plain English. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room protected by 2 security systems ain't. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. I just said it's a traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, This time I hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well then what about the fingerprint activated locks in the evidence lockers? Oh yeah, he says 2, but it should be 3. Fingerprint activated locks. What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines or with following orders, it seems. Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Oh, brother. Day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on the bone orchard. I said I was supposed to make around 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the rooms like 2 security systems anyways. You used to be a detective, so you used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. Okay, that's quite incredible. The sensors that the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that you mention it, Detective Gumshoe said something just like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. You can tell us. What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Spaghetti Western. That Angel's steak lunch that can beat that Parlo's Vongol sepia pasta. I don't know how you say that. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duty to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Retro says, "Did you not want to raise this year?" Out of ammo, Officer Marshall. That's right, partner. Or as you call it evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors, though. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I better up the ante. So let's just press for now. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room is so still. Even time dives in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. And nothing unusual recorded. Tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase the tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. But it isn't going. Yeah, no. I thought it was that it isn't doing him any good, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but I ain't my style. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that I ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No, Desperado, I know lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know joined the police force. So I was the marshal on the day of the crime. Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was rubber gloves stuck in the evidence room locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? Nope. Let me save. Haven't saved in a while. In innocence, I don't think it's this, but I'm gonna do it. No. He said, yeah, we're not using this yet, so we're not using this. We're not using that yet, so. Let's press him again. Let's press this again. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall. That's right, partner. Or perhaps as you call evidence. Oh, did I press this? So, do you have anything that says so that he went in? Maybe the video? No. Nar. No. I was like, oh, hey, maybe he's the Blue Badger. Okay. Maybe it's for the thing that about the what's his face? Nope. Whoa, reset. Whoa. Let's go. No. Evidence. Do we have evidence? So we do. No, I don't. I used this before, didn't I? Yeah, no, it's not now. Not now. Nope, not default. Up the ante. How does he up the ante? How do I up the ante? Okay, let me try pressing it. Goes through everything. Okay, maybe if I get to the end, okay, no. No. Okay, look at evidence. Sorry, this is taking a little. I'm not sure what the contentious statement is. Ammo. So basically, we have to find evidence that he was in the room, but we don't want to use our. No. Okay. What didn't I use yet? Can you use the fingerprint? No. Oh. Oh, Lamau. Lamau. Okay, I misunderstood. It was just a finger. Oh, it's a fingerprint. Hey, Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is you being called to testify like this. After all, you were in the security room at the time of the crime, and yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene, or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints will be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, their fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, a luminal test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall, it seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his head, shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall, about the blood-stained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime. Like I said, it's only natural for our fingerprints to be in every room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. Bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. No. Or didn't you know that the murderer was wearing gloves? See? Had nothing to do with it. The witness' explanation appears valid. Although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. Through that, the French may now cross-examine that witness. This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as a handprint. You know where? So then, what about the bloody handprints? Wasn't mine. It's more mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. Oh, see, but okay. So this is the video where no, he doesn't know where we found it. He's assuming it was found in his locker, but that's not the one we're talking about. No? No, not that. No, not that. Hold on. Oh no, it's a floor pan. It's a floor pan. No. No. Chances of that happening are a million to one. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are a million to one. Get one thing straight, partner. Without evidence, you ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? I'm related. They are as different as night and day. Kind of like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, and while the other one's a type of murder. He's right, although seemingly alike, they are totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? Was he? How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a blood stain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on the Detective Gunshoe's locker. However, no fingers were... Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to plant their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. Oh, okay, yeah, so no, it is a video, okay. Okay, so no. No, it's a video. The video. Not the video. No. Nope. Oh yeah, see this one. No, I'm not watching. No, no. No. Nar. Yeah, he's saying that the prints are unrelated, bro. We have to make it say. No, we used this one already. I think it's the floor plans because touched it by chance. Touched it by chance. Floor plan? I don't know. No, I don't know. I gotta just. I'm about one thing away from. I don't want to though. One of them just happened to be. That's right. Evidence to be in that. Fingerprints to be in the evidence room. One of them just happened to. Let me just press everything and read it. Oh, okay. So see, this is new. It was found at Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingers. It's the last one. It's the last one. No, I think it's the last one. No, I'm still lost. I'm still at a loss, unfortunately. That's why I'm like thinking, because I haven't used the I don't know what statement is another one. I don't know, like, okay. I hate to do this, but I am gonna. It's taking too long. Right. I'm gonna feel bad. What? Oh, is that? That's why I know nothing's working, because I'm not doing it right. It's because I'm not doing it right. No, not save. Oh, that's always. Yeah, did I never press this? That's because you. Yeah, I guess I never pressed the first statement. That's because how did you put it? Pay your respects once a month. Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. That, what? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was the detective. The locker I still use. All that is in there now is a heap of broken dreams. I see. Hold on. I just plugged out my phone. When I don't know what to do is because I'm not doing something right. I should have known. If nothing, if I'm okay, I gotta keep that in mind for next time. If I ever feel like I'm stuck and nothing's working, just try and press everything. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently, his fingerprints data was never removed from the lock programming. He must have been using his fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Oh, I think. Okay, fortunately, I didn't actually look and see. Hold on, let me save since I learned new information. Oh, it's not this. No. 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 So no, it's the thing. It's the new one. That's by chance. No. Yeah, my one thing is it takes so long to. Oh, are they updated or do I? Oh, I didn't. I had to. Did I not save? Yeah. Now is it the thing? Oh wait, hold on. Let me. I swear I saved over it. Well, no, we knew. No. And I did the thing, the floor plan, which is not. No, okay, just. Oh, okay, no, okay. No, I'm jumping the shark. I keep jumping the shark. Nope. I'm missing information. I'm missing info. I have to get. So I'm not pressing in the right order. I'm related. How do you know that? I may be able to, yeah. That's right, it was found at the gumshoes locker. However, no fingers were detected on the handprint. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? Oh, again, I literally said I'm not going to do it, jump the gun again, and I did it again. Not even 3 minutes after saying I was going to do it. This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one real reality, and that's this. The security tape. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with the cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. Now, it's too bad it wasn't me in the video, but now we do the video. Right, no, don't do that, no. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But the video is next to useless. They're full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera panning back and forth is the floor is shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have the time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in the video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Yeah, see? Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us the incriminating... Is this at the end? It's right at the end. Something is different. Take that! Bringing our attention back to the security camera. It's a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, as so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Let's see. 1, very well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can clearly be seen in the video. Exactly 8. What? That was like... I guess I can't count. That was 7. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That white locker, the locker with the white cloth sticking out, was believed. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Oh, the white cloth, it's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order. It was your duty. Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. Yeah, he doesn't know. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault you have to choose mine. What? Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? Like he said, he didn't know. The guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker. Now prove it. The locker. Yeah. A fingerprint sensor. We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In my case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I only got 1 word. 3. No! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Or witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay, please answer the question. What is he, a bullfighter? That's the wrong... That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can? Have a look at these plans, these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekin didn't see Officer Marshall. Is that so? Where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was he? Right here. Officer Marshall was standing right here. There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Except that wasn't Goodman, correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene, but it's not like he knows what thing looks like. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. But he doesn't know. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes? And how did the Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. Carrying it? The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID. Oh, I get it. If he showed that his cover would have been blown, Officer Meekins wouldn't realize the man wasn't Detective Goodman at all. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? Yeah. You've got quite an imagination, partner. We've got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? Still denying. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as a victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. Can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me. Yeah. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have anything evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as a victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Ah, this can't be happening. No, this can't be happening. It's so obvious. He's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone was told to me when I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? Return to zero. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Instead of thinking about how it was him, think about why it had to be him. It shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. Look for proof why he was in disguise. Look for why he had to use disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think the locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite a chance it might be discovered later as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, Then after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that the white cloth was sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well, let's take another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, hold on. Please show us why the witness opens his locker. Oh, I think I know what it is. Oh. Oh, yeah, okay, no, I know it. Is it this? For some reason, you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman and enter the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. When Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white. Oh, so it's not a cloth at all. You think it's a jacket. You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Not bad, partner. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. Hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. Hmm? Two years ago. If you're only as half as persistent then as you are today. If you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have been here now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. All right. It seems the time has come. Marshall's confession. I had to do it that day. I just couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. There wasn't any murder in the room. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. I guess he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Press. When you say it, you mean, do you even have to ask, partner? The Asshole 9 incident. 2 years ago past since that case was closed. It's going to completely end with the transfer of that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over yet. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, it's only that case's leak and detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care about it so much? That day was my last chance. That's why So the detective's ID. Just press, because why did you just disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card? I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filing out that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there, right? Also, he left that there, yeah. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could, because the rubber goods have to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. But he didn't. But wait, he didn't go in. But wasn't expecting Officer Meekins, so I knocked him out. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. Only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person, mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanded to be shown his ID. I have to think a little more about his raise this year. When did Edward get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So you knocked out Officer Meekins and managed to escape. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go up into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is on that day there wasn't any murder. But the blood found at the scene clearly indicates the crime took place. What are you blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. Huh? What? Mr. Edwards, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty, so someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer of yourself. This will have serious consequences. They can't just be forgiven with a simple covered salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one's mine. This one is mine. I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. You know why? I know why. Oh, I know. You know why? This is why. This is why. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name, Marshall, is mentioned in here. And a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard that name. The name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed, and the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gann, the then deputy chief of police. No, he was chief of detectives. He was chief of detectives, I believe, not the chief of police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day of the SL9 case. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with the brief's resolution, Officer Marshall's planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Disguising himself as Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. Well, no, you still have the issue because he's right about the blood. That the pool of blood that was found is way too much for just a simple cut on the hand. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly this, yeah, there's something. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, the fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance. There's got to be more than that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one, which in turns means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky. But wait, our verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All the mysteries of the police department have been resolved. No doubt about it. No, there is still one. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect was Lana Sky, and the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Ah! I rest my case. It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I don't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake, but I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. The court finds the defendant. Your Honor, wait. Emma. The defense has an objection. The defense has an objection, a scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor? Oh, in a sense. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking you is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please? I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dart killings. Now that you mentioned it, the names of both Sky sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprints had nothing to do with the crime. That left only the one thing, the other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gunshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. So what did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can say Lana, it's you. Is there something wrong with the... Is there... Something is wrong. Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Uh-oh. Hold on, that's a... Okay, hold on, I gotta reach something, grab something out of my ass. Now, time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. But regarding to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubts remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, the handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be. Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. What could be wrong with the handprint on Detective Gunshoe's locker? Yeah. This handprint left at the crime scene. Clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes. This is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something that hasn't been drawn on here? Yes. Yes, something that when drawn will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all the evidence, this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use. Well, yeah, there's one thing what we saw in the video is this little bugger. He's not on there. It's the Blue Badger. What about that? What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So? So watch what happens when you put him in. This is where we were dancing at the scene of the crime. Well, what? Oh, I see. Oh, I see. I didn't think it was close. But if you see how close, if you look at the foreground, the Blue Badger is basically blocking Gumshoe's locker. So either someone went there beforehand, or they moved the Badger and put it back. It would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. So that means it was there before. What? Yeah, and it didn't get moved, so yeah, it was put there before. That print was there from before. So that means, just what exactly does it mean? Just exactly what does it mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found in that locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma, on that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger. So, yeah, so basically, and he didn't see the print, right? Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it there, after he put it down, it would have been impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. Oh, no, so that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, someone else got blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time, someone bled prior to the struggle was shown on this tape, and it had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. The murderer portrayed in the security tape has proven to be fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves it when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims. Well, that makes sense because remember that evidence locker was emptied, and only he could open it. So he must have somehow got in there. So good, yeah, and that was fake. So then that locker was opened by him at some other time. It's earlier. To summarize the defense's claim. The summary defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well. Then tell us, when did the first incident occur? And as Mr. Edgeworth say, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. It's a thing. Well, just let me quote. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? Well, it has to be this. The ID list. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card. Oh. An ID card. Oh, the ID card. Yeah, and they said hour and a half of 4:30. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at 4:50. Let's see here. 4:50. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40. Mr. Edgeworth, just what have you done? I never would have figured you'd had the nerve, boy. Drop the yak, witness. It doesn't take a lot I thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol that the luminol test that the blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim. Yeah, murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. Yeah, but so that only leaves a person before him. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one name. There's only one other card number remaining. 777 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, lucky number 7. Talk about a lucky number. Wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of the card being used beforehand, he must have came in with somebody. He must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only possible explanation. He went in with 7, lucky number 7. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 77. Yeah, that's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 7 belongs to someone with the rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. Wait. But that's ridiculous. Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you could keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay, let me ask you a question. Yes? No, not you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. But Lana, don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 7 triples. Lucky number 7. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. That SL9 incident. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really use legitimate evidence? Do you need the witness to repeat this question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Uh-oh, they're going on the record saying they lied. Lana, I believe I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized that we were the ones being suppressed by the law. The typical, dude, I had to take the law into my own hands. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator, in that crime in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. Oh, I don't know if that'd be able to fit, but that's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence, that is a damning statement for the Chief Prosecutor. That will call into question every case in the recent history. See? That's what I'm talking about. No. Yeah. Order. Yeah, that would be a lot of remarks causes a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Okay, hold on. Let me say. Okay, it's okay. No. I'm like, is it? It seems like the. Yeah. Okay. I should do. Yeah, I should do some because the trial isn't that long, but the investigation is kind of long. So okay, we'll go a little bit further for the investigation because it's kind of long, it seems. But yeah, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's like if the I don't know if they're saying like New York, the chief prosecutor for for Manhattan or New York City came out and said like, oh yeah, we on the regs, like yeah, from time to time we forged evidence in trials. It's like whole that would be a disaster. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm so sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do. I didn't know. I never knew that this SLI incident was just another name for the Joe Dart killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dart convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dart's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. And what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means you... Yes, I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. Yeah, it's like February. Thunderstorm. Yeah, thunderstorm in February. That's unheard of. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once you finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. He seemed like he was running from somewhere. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out suddenly. A bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture. I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall, so you weren't able to testify about that. No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was given false. That's funny, actually. For reasons we'll learn way later. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. 2 years ago, you're like, what, 15? Yeah, you're a teenager, so, that's not old, but that's not young either. So it's true. Even though he may not have known it, Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially after Emma. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his hand. His knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently, I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. You've been through so much. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago, you must have been 14. Oh no, she said she's turning 6, yeah, 14. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. Oh, I see, because at that moment, words failed her, but if she had... I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana will never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. And as a YouTuber, what is it? You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor. Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. why did you run all the way to over to your sister's office? Because the detective's offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? But wait, yeah, why would he not try to go for the elevator? Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. Oh, she was the best in the entire force. Wait, what? That news to me. That's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective. Yeah. Oh, let's talk to her. Oh, hello. Well, hello, walking civil liability or civil case. Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? Because you're beholden to the law, you swore oath, all of that. But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. That too? Believe me, I understand the risk. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SLI incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believe that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, yeah, okay, feel like, okay, anyways, well, all drama aside. Just put the information in the bag. At 5:15, there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said? About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife? Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before. It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. Detective Sky. That was amazing. They still talk about all the cases he and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked. So not the chief of police, the deputy chief. He still worked the case crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SLI case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was the second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command. That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right? Yes. Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. So wait. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was a serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. Damon Gantt and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gantt and Marshall left their guards out and fled the room. Don't you? Well, I guess if he's just he hasn't been charged. I guess he wasn't in handcuffs. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gantt and myself. That's where he found me. So you were there. You were the first person to run to the scene, Lana. It appears so. I was filing some papers while Grant and Marshall were questioning Dark. Hold on, huh? When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and saw blood. 3 bodies. Oh. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During his struggle, it seemed Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a mild concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what any sibling would do in that situation. Can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone through it. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident. That's right. Quite a coincidence. I don't buy it. Yeah, that sounds like a little baloney. But what? What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in the trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. I don't think it was. At least one person went through extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with closing up a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives without memories. That case just might not be over yet. Huh? Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office of that Damon Gantt sheriff. The office that Mr. Gantt occupied by himself, the chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. Did we ever ask her about this? Attorneys and prosecutors have no business showing evidence outside of court. It's taboo, especially when the interests of both parties are involved. She really means it. Lana. Okay. Hey, check it out. There's a metal plate. That's like a... Wow. My dad's listened a bunch of times. Long Karma. Yeah, that's probably it. But where are we? Okay, never mind. Okay. Okay. Actually. I don't see Detective Gunshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. The chief of detectives seems the same though. Oh, hello. Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall. I never thought of things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. Que sera, sera. You never know when the world life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why'd you do it? Why did the prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about it, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting that steak lunch today. Yeah, hold on. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean the switchblade with a broken tip? That was Joe Dark's all right, but in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there was a good chance the knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report, that was finally admitted that possibly had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with the forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. Scars that the SL9 incident left behind. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together, and our last. How old was he? Your brother. He was 27 at the time. Deceased. 27, and he's... Oh, okay, no. So, okay, no. If he's the 7th, 28, 20. So no, he is the older brother. He's the older brother. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean that king of prosecutors? I knew it. What are you looking at me like that? What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close to his brother. The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that case investigation, save one, was taken care of. Yeah, except for Goodman, but I guess we found out why. Mr. Starr was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in that tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? They did something to him, too. The commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough to not to be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Sky. The investigation lead Damon Gant and his second in command, Lana Sky. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah. Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentioned it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Secret. It all started 2 years ago. Oh, I guess she's done. So, there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used the falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I would even be a patrolman after me. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Okay. Now it's okay. Okay. All right. I think that's good enough. Have enough for the next stream. So yeah, that's going to be it for me for today. But as always, before we go, if you like what you saw, please consider leaving a like. Follow me on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, X, Blue Sky for bad updates. Or not bad updates, bad tweets. Ranting about connections and stream updates and everything in between. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next stream. Bye-bye. Bye. See ya. Peace. Later. As Vita said, I don't even know how you say that, but bye.